Hello, how you doing? And today's video comes from Jenlisa Cheso, and she asked me to upload a video on how to answer Exerpt questions. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to answer Exerpt questions from the set book Adult's House, which is the set book that you're going to be examined in your KCSE. So you want to stick around to the end of the video to learn how to answer Exerpt questions in the right way. And actually some of the things to avoid when answering the Exerpt questions. We're going to start right away with the common Exerpt questions. And first we have how to place an excerpt in the immediate or in its immediate context. So how you're supposed to do? And you're supposed to do two things. You're supposed to tell us what happened before and what happens after the excerpt. Just before the excerpt and immediately after the excerpt. So those are the keywords. And again, when you are writing your answer, don't forget to mention the word before. Like, before the excerpt, Nora was doing this and this. And then after the excerpt, Dr. Rang or Krogstad came to visit Nora. So you're supposed to mention that, don't assume. The other common question when answering excerpts, we have the theme. Identify two themes in the excerpt, 4 marks or 1, 2 marks. So what is expected of you? If you are identifying a theme, illustrate your answer. If it's theme of work, when we have work, illustrate. If it's theme of love or theme of deceit, you have to give an illustration or an explanation. Failure to that, you're gonna get half a mark. Next, we have the styles, the stylistic devices, which is supposed to refer from the excerpt if the question has specified. You have to get them from the excerpt, and again you must illustrate. Illustration is very important. And finally we have the character traits. Give the character traits of Nora from the excerpt. Give the character trait of Krogstad from the excerpt. For example, Nora is deceitful. She lied to Dr. Rang, having given the macaron by Sislin. And now I'm going to post these excerpts. And I want you to read it so that we can answer the questions that are following. If they are not visible, you can check your Adult's House. That is page 11 on the top, where Mrs. Lind is talking. That is the first part. Up to page 12 again, down there where Mrs. Lind is talking. And I hope now you have read the excerpt. And I'm going to read the first 2 lines and the last 2 lines, Mrs. Lin. It sometimes happens, Nora. So you're quite alone. How dreadfully sad that must be. I have 3 lovely children. You can't see them just now, for they are out with their nurse. But now you must tell me all about it. You'll continue. Okay, I'm going to read the last part of Mrs. Lin. You spent a whole year in Italy, didn't you? So that is where our excerpt ends. And the first question is, place the excerpt in its immediate context. In this case, we have been given 5 marks. So we're gonna say what happened before and what happened after. But you can pause your video and try to say what happened before and what happened after to see if you have the same thing. That's it for a moment. Let us now answer. Before the excerpt, Mrs. Lind had visited Nora after many years, and in their conversation, we learned that Mrs. Lind is a widow and her husband left her nothing when he died. And after the excerpt, Nora agreed to have spent a whole year in Italy, which was to save her husband's life. And that was after Ivar was born and got the 250 pounds to fund their trip to Italy from her father. So in that case, we have put the excerpt in its immediate context and we are good to score our 5 marks. Keywords. Make sure there is a before and there is an after in your answer. Don't forget that. Question number 2. Identify any style that is used in the excerpt. I had the flashback. We learned through flashback that Ma had to leave her work after they were married, and it is also in that we learn about Helma's illness. Illustrate that the last part Nora speaking before the end of the excerpt, and she is saying, you know, Torvald left his office when we were married. So she's talking about things that happened before. By the way, can you see any other style? If yes, please let me know. Identify the themes in the excerpt, and we have the theme of work, and you see Nora is saying we have both to work hard. You too? Yes. And Nora is saying yes. Odds and ends, needlework, crochet work, embroidery. So that is theme of work. Helma had been promoted manager of bank, and Nora thinks that through the job they're gonna get heaps and heaps of money. The next question, that is, you're supposed to give the traits of Mrs. Lynn and the traits of Nora from the excerpt. And let us try that. Let us start with Mrs. Lynn. And Mrs. Lynn, she is curious because she asks Nora a lot of questions. So when you check where Mrs. Lynn is talking, her statements are full of questions. So she is curious, or she is inquisitive to Nora. And Nora, number one, she is a spendthrift. And check where Mrs. Lynn is saying, Nora, haven't you learned sense yet? In our school days, you were a great spendthrift. So she is a spendthrift because we learned that from Mrs. Lynn. Second trait, she's proud, and this is because she brags about her husband being promoted to be the manager of the bank. And she's saying that they're going to get heaps and heaps of money. He is hardworking, and this is whereby she said, you too. She had to do odds and ends, needlework, crochet work, embroidery, and so on. So that supports her being hardworking. Actually, that brings us to the end of our lesson today, and we have learned about how to to answer the excerpt questions. Don't forget that in placing an excerpt in its immediate context, she's supposed to say what happened before and what happened after, and ensure that in your answer there is a word before and a word after. The second most important thing, when you are giving the themes, the styles, and the traits, you must have illustrations for your answer. And by doing that, you'll get, or you'll have to score full marks, which will be an advantage on your side. I hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that you have got something new. And in case you have anything that you want me to upload next time, you let me know, and I'll be very glad to do that. Thank you, and bye.